Thank you. It's good to be with you. Good to be with you. Thank you, everybody. So here's what happened. I got here, and they all said, we have a great crowd. We don't have time for the national anthem. I said, yes, we do. We have time for the national anthem, right? And we have a young lady that is going to sing, and I said, what are you doing? She said, well, I was supposed to sing, but they had time because of the television cameras. They couldn't do it. I said, guess what? We're going to do the national anthem, okay? So, Sherry Wilkins, come up. Sherry, come on, Sherry.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Great voice. Thank you. So when I got here, there was a group of a couple of hundred women, great women, and I didn't know about this, and they were in one of the conference rooms, and it was packed, and I spoke to them for a little while, and I said, where are you all? You're in the audience someplace here. And I said, bring some of them up. Where are they? Come on up here. These people. Look at them. They're women that love Trump. I'm telling you, women do like me. I'm telling you. Say a word.
God bless America. Thank you, God, for sending us Donald J. Trump to be our next president of the United States of America. He's a job creator. He's a father. He's an American patriot. Thank you.
So go have a good time, okay? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. There were hundreds. This was our representative group. Thank you very much. Chinese Americans. Chinese Americans. It's good. Hey, it's our leaders' fault. You know, it's not the Chinese fault. They do take advantage of us, folks, but it's our leaders' fault because we have leaders that don't know what the hell they're doing. Believe me. They don't know what they're doing. So, it's been an amazing few weeks. Last night we had the state of Washington. We got a tremendous number. And now we have more votes than ever cast in the primaries in the history of the Republican Party. That's big. That's big. And what we have is a movement. I mean, we have a movement. Last night, you know, we were in New Mexico, and it was beautiful. And we actually, you wouldn't believe it, to watch television. Within that arena, it was like a love fest. It was beautiful. Packed place. And outside, they showed some other things, but, you know, it's one of those things. A lot of flags. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's all right. The police will get them out. Hey, do we love our police? Do we love our firemen? We love our police. We love our firemen. They do an amazing job. They don't get credit for the job they do. So I began, and we had 17 people running for what we're doing right now today. And right now it's myself, and it was supposed to be Hillary watching us get to the convention. And then they said we may not even be able to finish in the July convention. We were going to need another convention in August. They didn't know what they were going to do, but it wasn't going to happen. And I said, I think they're wrong. I think we're going to make it easily. And boy, did I turn out to be right. Did I turn out to be right? And everybody said, the pundits, the geniuses back there, they all said that Hillary, as I say, crooked Hillary, she's as crooked as they come. She had a little bad news today, as you know, from some reports came down, weren't so good, but not so good. The Inspector General's report, not good. But I want to run against Hillary, I just want to run against her. So look, I don't know if you're going to be able to. It could be we're going to run against Crazy Bernie. That could be. Could be Crazy Bernie. He's a crazy man, but that's okay. We like crazy people. And I hear they want to put Biden in. I hear they're going to actually slip Joe Biden in, and he's going to take Bernie's place. No, I hear they want to slip in, because I will say the system is rigged against Bernie, 100%. All right, get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Out, 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 out. Don't hurt him. See what I say? Don't hurt him. I say that for the television cameras. Do not hurt him, even though he's a bad person, folks. Bad person. Bad person. Is there any place more fun to be than a Trump rally? Right? Even one at like 12:30 in the afternoon. I mean, there's just nothing like it. I love it. I actually love doing it. I love doing it because we are having an impact, they say, like has never happened before. You know, so many of the pundits, many of them cannot stand me. They said, he'll never run. And then they said, and if he runs, he won't do well. And he'll never put in his financials. I put in financials that are the biggest numbers they've ever seen by far. They were so unhappy. They were so unhappy. And they said, well, he'll never sign Form A. That's where you basically sign your life away. And then it started. June 16th it started, right? And we had a total of 17. And then, boom, 1 out, 2 out, 3, 4, 5. One after another. 6, 7, 8. And then they said, oh, we better start taking him serious because, you know, I was the one that knocked out that first state. I did that single-handedly. They said, we better start taking him seriously. They spent $100 million, 66,000 ads. I am not kidding you. Now, I saw it on Fox, so it has to be true. 66,000 ads. And I said to my people, I was watching television in Florida, and I said, there's no way I can win. How can I possibly win? Every single ad is a negative ad, and most of them are false. There was a little truth to some of them, I'll be honest. But for the most part, they were false. And I was being hit by everybody. I was being hit by the Republicans. I was being hit by Pocahontas. That's Pocahontas. Pocahontas. That's this Elizabeth Warren. I call her Goofy. She is, Goofy. She gets less done than anybody in the United States Senate. She gets nothing done, nothing passed. She's got a big mouth, and that's about it. But they use her because Hillary's trying to be very presidential. She's stopping with the shouting, okay? But then I listened before, and I'll be honest with you, I cannot listen to her. I cannot listen to her. Can't listen. So I've been hit by 66,000 ads, negative ads. And I said, no way. And we won Florida in a landslide, won it by 20 points. And it sort of began, I did actually very well in Iowa. I never did it before. I came in second. I should have come in first, but we'll explain that to you someday. But I'll tell you what, I went to New Hampshire. What a place New Hampshire is, okay? What a place. And I was not supposed to win New Hampshire. Bush was supposed to win New Hampshire. That was his territory. I won in a landslide. I won New Hampshire in a landslide. And then we went between Massachusetts, which we won almost 50% in Massachusetts. He's got a Tom Brady shirt. Yes, because Tom Brady loves Trump. Tom Brady's my friend. That didn't hurt. In fact, I kept wondering, how come I did so well in Massachusetts? I think Tom might have had a little impact on that. By the way, he's a great guy. In Indiana, did he help? Did Bobby Knight help? So I went to all these different places and was winning in big, big numbers. And I'll tell you what was really exciting. In South Carolina, we didn't get the endorsement of the governor. We got the endorsement of the lieutenant governor, who's a fantastic guy. And everybody else was endorsing different people. And the evangelicals are very, very strong in South Carolina. And the military, and we love those evangelicals, right? And the military is very, very strong in South Carolina. And everybody said that was not going to be Trump territory. And I won South Carolina in a landslide. And we won Alabama and Arkansas and Kentucky. We won the entire South in a landslide. We won almost everything. And then we came to New York. And the nice thing about it from the standpoint of people that aren't in New York, I love that. Latinos for Trump, believe me. Believe me. I love that. Latinos for Trump. And by the way, you're all here legally. You have houses. You have homes. We're going to keep your houses and your homes. You're going to have them forever. And your jobs aren't going to be taken away by people that are just coming across the border. You don't know where they're coming from. And you don't know where. And you know what? More and more, and I'm seeing it, Latinos for Trump, they have groups forming. I have great relationships with the Hispanics. We're going to do very well with the Hispanics. Because I'm going to create jobs. And jobs is what this country needs. We need jobs. We need jobs. There's another one. Hispanic, look at that sign. I love that sign. Let me see that person. Hispanic, female, veteran. Three beauties. Three great words. That's so nice. Thank you. No, the Hispanics. I have thousands of Hispanics that work for me. People from Mexico, people from all over. They're phenomenal people. They are phenomenal people. And what I'm going to do very easily, I do it naturally. We're bringing jobs into our country. We're not going to let other countries take our companies away from us so that everybody like Carrier, like Ford, like Nabisco, so all these people get fired. It's not going to happen anymore, folks. It's not going to happen anymore. And whether you're Hispanic, whether you're, as you say, Latino, whether you're whatever you might be, we're going to create jobs in our country. And I'll tell you who's going to be one of the great beneficiaries. The African American population in our country is being treated very, very unfairly. African American youth has a 59% unemployment rate, okay? We're going to bring jobs into our country, folks, and we're going to get people working for really good numbers, because that's what happens. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see, and I will tell you, the Hispanics are liking Donald Trump. Now, it also helped that Univision settled with me for their lawsuit. That was very nice. I thank you. But we're going to have a lot of great people. We're going to have a lot of great things happening in our country. We're going to have so many great things. So what happens, guy says, I love your hair, Trump. You believe it? This is what I have to go through. How's my hair? You know it is my hair, right? You do know, right? It is my hair. Whether we love it or hate it, it's my hair. So we went to South Carolina. We won a state that we weren't supposed to win. We won it in a massive landslide. We then went to all over the place. I mean, and then we go to Nevada, and Nevada was amazing. And Nevada, by the way, had exit polls of Hispanics where they vote and then they leave and they're doing polls. And I won in a landslide all of the exit polls with the Hispanics, and I won Nevada very big. And what I liked about New York, okay, we get to New York, and I end up winning. The people that know me the best is New York. And New York's a tough place. I mean, they know they're very critical people. We love them, they're critical, and that's good. I'm critical too. But we get 62% with 3 people. You know, that's not 62 with 2 people. And you know, these guys, these dishonest people, because they are the most dishonest people in the world. The most honest. They're the worst. But you know, I remember early on I'd have like 12 people running, and I'd get 32 or something, and I'd have 34, and they'd say, he did not crack 50. Now, when you have 12 people, you can't get 50. Abraham Lincoln could not get 50, okay? You can't get 50. So we go and we win and we keep winning. And in New York, I won massively, won everything. And then we go to Pennsylvania, a state that we are going to do so well in November. We go to Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut. We go all through the whole area. We had 5. Delaware, Rhode Island. We win all 5. We win every single county in every single state. Now the opposition is starting to get a little bit tired. But they said, don't worry, Indiana, that's the firewall, Indiana. So that's the firewall. So I got a little lucky because about a year and a half ago, Bobby Knight called me. I don't know Bobby Knight. But he said, Mr. Trump, this is Coach Knight. I said, Coach, you're the greatest. How many games did you win, Coach? 900. How many national championships did you win, Coach? 3. And he had the last undefeated team in college basketball. He almost did it twice. The year before, he had 1 loss. And he blames himself. He always says, tell them it was my fault. I said, I'm not saying that, Coach, okay? But he's great. He's tough. He's smart. And they love him in Indiana. So he calls me a year. I love you, too. He says, but we love you. I love you. But here's the thing. So in Indiana, I say, wow, Indiana, usually by that time somebody's decided. I said, wow, Indiana's a big factor. And a friend of mine comes up. He said, you know, if you could ever get Bobby Knight to endorse you, that would be fantastic. I said, you know, he called me like at that time a year ago, and he said, you should run. He said, you're tough, you're smart, you're what we need, you love the country. He gave me a whole thing. And I wasn't even decided to do it. And I said, you know what? I think I maybe can find it. And forget about the iPhone stuff. I have a big stack of papers. I go like this. I lift it up, thousands of papers. I lift it up, and there's his number sitting right there. I mean, I don't know. That's from God, okay? It's Bobby Knight's number. And I call up Bobby Knight, and he goes, I've been waiting for you to call. So, and Indiana was the next week. Anyway, he's a great guy. And he came and he endorsed me, and we just won that state. We won with women, with men, with young, with old, with rich, with poor. with blue collar, with white collar. We won with everything. We won Indiana, and we won, by the way, big, for me, very important. We won with the evangelicals. You saw that. We won with everything. And then everybody said, okay, it's time to let Trump go and do what he has to do. And now I'm doing it. And we have a person running for office who is not equipped to be president. She doesn't have the temperament to be president. She's got bad judgment. She's got horribly bad judgment. And that was stated by none other than Crazy Bernie. I mean, Bernie said that Hillary Clinton has bad judgment. Now, if you look at the war of Iraq, if you look at what she did with Libya, which is a total catastrophe, and by the way, with Benghazi and with our ambassador, remember, that's all Hillary Clinton, folks. Let me tell you something. If she wins, and I hope she doesn't, but if she wins, you better get used to it, because you'll have nothing but turmoil, and you'll have nothing but 4 more years of Obama, and you can't take that. Our system and our country can't take it. So, you remember the famous ad? When they call at 3 in the morning, who's going to be there to answer the call? This was her ad. She was supposed to say, I'm going to answer the call. She was sleeping. They called. They kept calling. Did you see hundreds and hundreds of emails and calls? And they kept calling. And she was sleeping, folks. She was sleeping. I don't sleep much. I don't sleep much. So we've got to make changes. Remember this. It's going to be about security. We're going to have great security. We're going to have great borders. We're going to have the wall. We're going to have the wall. We're going to have that wall. So 2 weeks ago, the Border Patrol, these are great people, Border Patrol agents. These are people that know more about the border than anybody will ever know, other than, of course, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who endorsed me, right? Sheriff Joe knows about the border, and he endorsed me. And 2 weeks ago, I got a call that the Border Patrol wants to endorse you. They've never endorsed a candidate for president ever in their history. And 16,500 Border Patrol agents endorsed me. And when I spoke to one of the top people, I said, let me ask you this question, because it's very important to me, because I'm always flexible. Let me ask you this. It's a very important question. You're endorsing me, and you want to see it stopped. How bad is it? They said, Mr. Trump, you have no idea. We have the equipment. We have everything. We're told to stand back and let people just flow across like Swiss cheese, okay? I said to him, so I think we need the wall. How important is the wall? To the Border Patrol people. They said, Mr. Trump, it's absolutely vital. And actually, the one man said something that was interesting. He said, it's an absolutely important tool, maybe our most important tool to stop what's going on, Mr. Trump. So I felt good when he said that, because I don't want to be wasting a lot of time, folks. And you know what? If I didn't think it was going to work, I could turn that off in 2 seconds, and I think people would understand. But when I ask the people that know more about the border than anybody, how important is the wall, and they tell me it is absolutely vital, and in the other words, it's a vital tool, it's an important tool, it's maybe the most important tool that they can think of, we're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. 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 So, we're going to build it. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%. By the way, 100%. So we have a trade deficit with Mexico. And by the way, I just said, the Mexican people are great. They're going to vote for me like crazy. The ones that are legally in this country, look, all these Mexicans, you're voting for Trump. I love the Mexican people. I love the Mexican people. But we have people that are in our country legally and they can't get jobs because other people are coming in and they're taking their jobs. And we have people, they lose their houses. There's so many different things happening. So we're going to do things properly. And we want people to come into the country, by the way, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. So we go down the line, and I was so honored to get their support. And I started, actually, I have a structural engineer who's really terrific. I said, do me a favor. Let me see. I mean, this guy's got good talent. I mean, what I do better than anybody is build. I'm a really good builder. I build. In fact, I'm opening up, I took over the old post office, one of the most sought-after projects in the history of the General Services Administration, which is on Pennsylvania Avenue, right between Congress, right between the Capitol building and the White House, right smack between. I always tell people in real estate, if you can get the post office, you get the best location because they got there first, okay? So I got the post office. The old post office building, it's 1 year ahead of, think of this. It's 1 year ahead of schedule. We'll open in September. It was supposed to open up actually in much more than a year. I mean, to be honest with you, we're almost 2 years ahead of schedule. And I said, let's not say that because nobody even would believe it. But we're almost 2. But I say 1 year because I want to be very nice. I want to be respectful. But we're 1 year ahead of schedule, more than that. And we're under budget. And the building is much better than we ever thought. It's going to be one of the great hotels of the world. And General Services Administration, by the way, totally professional. These are great people, totally professional. We have great people in our country. We have phenomenal people in our country. We have bad leadership. We have people that don't know what they're doing. But we have great people in our country. So we're going to build, thank you, we're going to build the wall. And the one thing, look, what I maybe do best, I think my biggest strength, other than the economy, and which I seem to be winning every single poll, and jobs. But I think my biggest strength is going to be national security. I think it's going to be the military. And that relates also to our economy, because we're defending nations all over the world, and a lot of these people take advantage of us. We're defending them. And the press, because they're so damn dishonest, they're the most dishonest, I talk about it. And I give the answer. I say, no, I want to defend Japan. I want to continue. But they have to continue to pay. They have to pay us a fair amount. I love Japan. I love Germany. Although they are ripping us off big league with devaluation, but we won't talk about that. Saudi Arabia making $1 billion a day before the oil went down. $1 billion a day. They're still making a fortune. We defend them. How stupid are we? We defend them. And all we have to do is say, you got to help us out, folks. We owe $19 trillion. We want to continue to defend you. And here's where the press leaves me. They always say, I'll give you an example. You have South Korea. Every time this maniac from North Korea raises his head, all of a sudden it turns out to be like, we send our ships, our planes, our soldiers. We've got 28,000 soldiers on the border right now between North and South, right? And every time something happens, they pay us a fraction of what this is costing us. Now, anytime you order a television or you order almost anything, it's coming out of South Korea. It's certainly coming out of that area, but it's coming out of South Korea. You order television. I order thousands and thousands of televisions a year. I mean, the only bidders I have are LG and Samsung and all these companies, and they make a fine product and all that stuff. We don't even make, I don't think we make televisions anymore in this country. I would love to find a company that made televisions. We don't make anything anymore, folks. We have lost, we're losing our base, we're losing our manufacturing, and it's disgraceful. So what I said is this. They got to help us out. Now, I want to continue to defend Japan. I mean, look, I got to continue. But when you make a deal, you always have to be prepared to walk. So one of these politicians, they're dumb people. One of these politicians said the other day, I thought it was amazing, tell them we'll never leave them. You must say that we'll never leave them. And I heard him make a speech. We will never leave you, Japan. Well, if you say that, why the hell would they pay up, right? Right? I listen to this moron, and I say, he's saying you'll never leave. You have to be prepared to leave. And maybe we have to leave. And you're right. And maybe Japan has to defend themselves, okay? Then I heard a general on television. He said, Donald Trump is wrong about this. Don't you understand that they pay for 50% of the cost of their defense? So I get a call from one of the papers. They say, well, he says that Japan is paying for a big portion. I said, what portion? 50%. Then I actually saw the guy on television. I said, why aren't they paying for 100%? Why 50? No, seriously. Why? And this general was so strong for them. Doesn't he understand that they pay for 50%? Now, if they say 50%, you know it's much less than that, okay? So if he tells you it's 50, it's much less. Germany, you have Germany, okay? Oh, what a job they've done with ISIS. What a job they've done. What a job they've done with the migration, allowing millions of people to come in. Great going, Germany. Great going. Great going. You got millions of people going into Germany and other countries in Europe right now. Nobody knows where they come from. There's no documentation. There's no paperwork. The only thing you notice, they have cell phones. The only thing you notice is on that cell phone, in some cases, they have an ISIS flag printed on it. And I always say this, I'm a common sense person. So you see the people, and you have a lot of young, strong men, right? Do we see that? And you have far fewer women than you would have thought. Look, they're all going, yes. Young, look at these young, strong like them. You could take any of them, you three guys. But look, they have young, strong men. I say, where are the women? Now, there are women, but very few. There are children, but proportionately very few. And I say, why aren't they back fighting in their country? And then our country is taking people in. But I see the cell phones. I see people walking, making calls. And I say, what the hell is going on? And here's what I ask. Forget they have a cell phone. Who's paying their bills? Who the hell's paying their bills? I mean, honestly, who is paying the bills? I mean, when you use a cell phone, you don't pay your bill. They cancel it. Who's paying their bill? And it's got ISIS flags. And then all over Europe, they're taking these people. And all over the United States, they're sending these people. Okay? How stupid are we? How stupid are we? This will come back to haunt us, folks. This will come back to haunt us. No matter where you go, you look at Sweden. They took a large number in a certain area. It's a disaster, okay? You look at what's going on in different countries, it's a disaster. No documentation, no passports. The passports you don't even think about because ISIS stole the passport machines and they can now make passports that our experts can't even see. They're fraudulent, okay? They stole the machines. They have passport machines. So look, we have to get smart. We have to be tough. We have to be vigilant. We have to be smart. Or we're not going to have a country left. You saw what happened in Paris, 130 people dead. And by the way, speaking of that, no guns on the other side. These people, this scum came in. They came in. The press said, the mastermind. Then they wonder why kids with the internet are joining ISIS. They call him the mastermind, the one who's in charge. I call him the guy with the dirty hat. You saw him, the dirty white hat. It was disgusting. But they're calling him the mastermind. They're trying to find the mastermind. Here's the mastermind. Guys walked into various places with guns. The other ones had no guns. No guns. Paris has the toughest gun laws in the world. You don't have guns. So they were the only ones. And they're going boom, boom, boom. Get over here. Boom, boom. They kill 130 people. Hundreds are in the hospital right now, so horribly wounded that their lives are, for the most part, destroyed. So horribly wounded. Then we have, right here, your 14 people that were killed by the woman who probably radicalized the guy. And they walk in, and no guns on the other side. And they kill 14 and many wounded right now still in the hospital, right? And then Hillary Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment. She wants to abolish it, folks. She wants to abolish it. Not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. So in Paris, in San Bernardino, if you had guns on the other side, let's say that character right there with the blue cap on, Trump cap, of course. I only talk about who raise your hand. Raise your hand. That guy, he's tough as hell. He's got a white Trump, Make America Great Again cap. But let me tell you, if you had a couple of people in those rooms, whether it's San Bernardino or Paris or wherever, and you had guns, boom, you had guns, you would have had a much different outcome, folks. Much different outcome. Much different outcome. And it's possible that when they see guns, no more gun-free stuff, right? Gun-free zone. Oh, gun-free zone. Great. You know what that is? That's like candy to a bad person. Gun-free zones! That means, come on, that means nobody can protect themselves in those rooms. How about the 5 soldiers they killed a year ago? These are master soldiers. These are great soldiers. One of them was one of the great marksmen in all of the armed forces. Put your guns away. It's a gun-free zone. This whack job walks in and kills all 5 of them, right? Gun-free zone. So I will tell you, we are going to protect our Second Amendment, all right? We're going to protect it. And just remember this, crooked Hillary Clinton, she's not saying it, but she's making the moves. Crooked Hillary Clinton wants to abolish, remember that, abolish the Second Amendment. They want your guns taken away, and it's not going to happen, okay? Remember that. She wants it abolished. She's going to take it away. So that's the story. So here's what we're doing. Not a lot of people are liking her. Not a lot of people. I'll tell you, not a lot of people. So here's what we're going to do. All right, forget it. Okay, so here's the story, folks. Don't worry. Loser. So I'll tell you something. The safest place in this country to be is at a Trump rally. I mean it. The safest. And we have a movement going on like they haven't seen. 2 weeks ago, Bill O'Reilly, smart guy, tough guy, not easy, he said in his lifetime, politically speaking, this is the greatest phenomena he's ever seen. What's happening? Many other people have said it. Some of the pundits that hate me have said it. They hate me. They can't stand it. First of all, one of the reasons they dislike me so much, because they've been wrong so often, right? We have a guy, nobody ever heard of this guy. I shouldn't even do this because I built up his name, but he's a real lightweight. His name is Bill Kristol. From day one, this poor guy, I watch him, but here's what I don't understand. Why do you keep putting a guy on television that's been proven to be wrong for so many years? First of all, he wants the war in Iraq. He wants Iraq. All the guy wants to do is kill people and go to war and kill people, even though he knows it's not working, although he doesn't know because he's not smart enough. But it started, and I was against the war in Iraq, let me tell you. And I am a tough cookie, and we're going to have the biggest, strongest, most powerful military, and nobody's going to mess with us. Nobody. Nobody is going to mess with us. But I just happened to see this guy in one of the shows the other day. Bill Kristol, he's got some magazine, I don't even know what the hell it is, and he's saying, oh, we're looking for another candidate. We're looking. He's sweating, and we're looking for another candidate. Here's a guy that said Trump isn't going to run. If he runs, he's not going to do well. He's going to be out by September. He forgot one thing. He forgot to ask my friends, and he forgot to ask the people that know me, because those are the people that said we're going all the way, okay? And I get a kick out of these people. I actually feel sorry for him. He goes, we're still looking for a third-party candidate. We think we're going. He's been doing this for like 9 months. He can't find anybody. What a loser. What a loser. And by the way, I heard his magazine is doing so badly it's ready to fold, so don't bother with him, okay? But you know what? After a while, you sort of give up. Like poor Mitt Romney. Poor Mitt. I look at this guy. I mean, I have a store that's worth more money than he is. Let me tell you. The guy doesn't put in his tax returns until almost the end of the year, like September or October. And he's telling about Trump with the tax returns. Now, here's what I did. I helped him. I raised a lot of money for him. His wife is lovely, and I raised a lot of money for them, right? I helped him. He asked me for robocalls. I did robocalls. And everything he asked me for, we won. I did like 4 or 5 robocalls, different states in the primaries. Never asked me. Isn't it stupid? If he would have asked me in Florida, he would have won Florida. Never asked me. Stupid. So here's what happens. I raised money. I endorsed him. He wanted my endorsement. He begged for my endorsement. He wanted my endorsement. And now all he does is go badmouth. Now, I will say this. He should have won that election. So what I did, he wanted to run this time around. So instead of having 18, we would have had 19. He would have been out quickly. And what happened is 2 things. He saw Trump saying he can't run. Because I understand losers. You can make a lot of money with losers. And I said, we couldn't take a chance. He was all excited. He wanted to run. And I said, Mitt cannot run. He choked like a dog. You ever see him in athletics? He's a choker. And you know the truth? I hate to say it. I hope we don't have too many in the audience. Once a choker, always a choker. And I was nasty about it. So now, as retribution, Donald Trump shouldn't run, and he walks like a penguin onto the stage. You ever seen it? Like a penguin. But it's all right. Who knows? Hey, look, I got a call from Lindsey Graham, and he couldn't have been nicer. Do you believe that? If I can get a call from Lindsey Graham, I can get a call from anybody. Maybe Mitt will call me one of these days. But you know what? Here's the story. Rick Perry, good guy. He said the worst things about me. He was going saying the worst thing, and I always liked him. This politics is a dirty business, I have to tell you. And I've never seen people able to pivot like politicians. So I get a call that Rick Perry, governor of Texas, good guy, good governor. I don't know if I said that when I was competing against him, but I get a call, Rick Perry. He made the nicest speech. In fact, he actually said something to the effect that perhaps the smartest person ever to run for the presidency. How good is that? Trump. He found out, he knew. No, and I was really, I'll tell you what, I was very appreciative of the fact that he was able to go and do that. And Rick Perry is now on the team, and we have a lot of people on the team. And it was nice. I must tell you, it was very nice that Lindsey Graham called, okay? Because he was you know, don't forget, I wasn't an angel. I gave out his phone number, okay? And then his phone exploded. I did it on live television. I held up his number, and I think it blew up or something. So I appreciated that he called. I appreciated Rick. I appreciated many of them. I mean, many of the people I competed against have now endorsed me. And most importantly, no, Jeb hasn't done it yet. He will get a burst of energy and he will do it, believe me. I'm telling you. Needs a little more energy. Now, Jeb has not been nice. Jeb isn't nice. Jeb was in Europe and he was talking about me. He didn't think that in Europe I'd get the word back, but he was talking bad on television about me. So anyway, so I talk badly. If they talk badly, you talk badly. That's the way it works. Somebody just came up to me outside. They said, you know, Donald, you're going to be the next president. But, well, very smart person. I'd love to tell you who. Everybody knows him from this area. Really a tremendous person. Very successful. Said, Donald, you know, you're going to be the next president. But would you do me one favor? And he said, would you be nicer to people? I said, I am nice. I'm a nice person. I love people. He said, no. You hit back too tough. You really should be nicer. You should be nice to everybody. I said, let me tell you. It's wrong. I said, listen, let me just tell you. If I was nice to everybody, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be watching television like they are. I had to do it. Now, if and when I win, I'm going to be very nice, because then it's a question of good management. I will get along with other countries far better than we get along right now. We're going to get along great. Other countries are going to treat us with respect. They're not going to devalue their currencies. So we have trade deficits of $505 billion, or Mexico. So we have a $58 billion a year trade deficit. And Mexico, as you know, they're taking all of our companies. They're taking a lot of our companies. You look at Carrier Air Conditioning. You look at Ford. You look at Nabisco. You look at hundreds of companies. We're losing our jobs. And I have to tell you, I hate to do this to you because I love this area. Do you know my big project up the road? You know my big project in Palos Verdes, right? One of the great pieces of land in the world on the Pacific Ocean. And I don't mean like on it, like we have a view. I mean like on the Pacific Ocean. But I asked for some numbers. And I asked for numbers about the area. I asked for numbers about California. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a big, big play for California. We're going to make a big play. No, we're going to do that. Because in California, not one other, if Ted Cruz had won, and he's a nice guy, but if Ted Cruz had won, they wouldn't be competing for California. They wouldn't even be talking about California. With me, I think we're going to, here are some numbers. Look, your jobs in this area, your manufacturing jobs, are down 41%. 41%. You know where they're going, right? You know where they're going? I mean, look, I have no speech, but what I do have, I have all statistics up here. It's a disaster what's happening to you. It's a disaster. Are you okay? Good. Are you okay, darling? Let's give her a hand. Thank you. Those are the people I like. You know, some of the people I saw on television, they've been here since like 6:30 in the morning. Man. So I have all these statistics. Look at this statistic. Look at this. Illegal immigrants get $1,261. This is from a newspaper. Should I tell you which one? What difference? It's the numbers. Illegal immigrants get $1,261 more welfare than American families. It's $5,000. Now think of it. It's $5,692 versus $4,431. How stupid are we? How stupid are we? and you look at some of these numbers. I did it last night in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. I'm going through the numbers similar to what you have. 45% down in manufacturing jobs. The whole thing, it's like a disaster. Our whole country. When I won in Pennsylvania and New York and Maryland and all the states, Connecticut, I didn't even need the statistician after a couple of weeks because the numbers were all pretty much the same. Manufacturing jobs are dissipating. They're going. And we're going to stop it, folks. It's so easy. You have no idea. If they leave, they have consequences, okay? If Carrier decides to leave Indiana, or if one of your companies here that employs a lot of people decide to move to Mexico, we will talk to them and we will say, good luck, but you're going to have consequences. You're not going to make your product. You're going to fire all these people. You're not going to pay any more taxes, and you're going to make your product across the border, and you're going to sell it to us, and we're not going to tax you. No, that's not the way it works. You're going to get taxed. You're going to get taxed. And believe me, we'll stop it. As an example, let's say, and I'll tell you, the Carrier deal, I've been talking about that for 8 months. And I didn't know that Indiana was going to be so important. I had no idea it was going to be so important. It turned out to be important. And all of the people in Indiana heard me talking about this company from Indianapolis from the day they announced, because somebody had a cell phone camera going from the day they announced. Okay, so what happened is I'm talking Carrier, and I'm saying how unfair. And at my rallies, the Carrier people kept coming. 1,400 people laid off. They were all over the place. I used to start off by, where are the Carrier people? There'd always be people. And they loved the fact that I was real. They loved the fact that I was doing it from the beginning. They started bringing it up, my opponents, 1 day prior to the vote and 2 days prior to the vote. People are smart. People know. Now, let me tell you, our government has been working on the problem of companies moving out for 6 years, 7 years. It's a plague. It's a tremendous problem. You know what they've come up with? How about some low-interest loans? They don't need money. And a couple of companies, they actually took the money, and then they left anyway because we had such bad lawyers. They took the money, and they left. So here's what's going to happen, folks. We go to that company, Carrier, or Nabisco or whoever you want, and we say, wish you luck, enjoy Mexico or wherever the hell you're moving. But if you come back, you're going to have a 35% tax on every unit that you sell into this. I guarantee you, not 90% or 95%, I guarantee you that they don't move. And if they move, I say the same thing, but it's too late. Now they've got their plant. We wish you a lot of luck, and we lost those jobs. But you know what? We're going to make a hell of a lot of money because we're going to take tax. And we have to do it. And we have to do it with China. When we have a $500 billion trade deficit, we have to do it with Mexico, or we have to do something. They have to treat us right. You know, Mexico could stop the problem at the border without us even doing anything. You do know that, folks, right? Remember when I said Mexico is sending and everybody went crazy? Well, when Kate was killed, this guy came across beautiful Kate from San Francisco, standing with her father on the pier, right? Killed by somebody that should have never been allowed to be in this country, all right? So he didn't just get here. He came in 5 times illegally, and so many things. Jamal, you know, you look at Jamil Shaw, one of the great young men, shot 3 times in the face. His father became a friend of mine. He's like this incredible guy. I don't know how he puts up with it. I don't know how he does it. He loved his son more than anything in the world. His son was going to go to college on a football scholarship. He was a good student. He was a great athlete. And he shot, walking home with a sandwich. He was shot in the face 3 times by an illegal immigrant. They just wanted, you know what the excuse was? He just wanted to shoot him. Didn't know him, never saw him before, just wanted to shoot him. And you had another, I mean, you have so many cases. And I talk about the veteran, 65-year-old veteran, female, raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant. Folks, it's going to stop. So here's what we're doing. We're going to build a wall, but the wall is not, we got to be tough. We got to be tough. One thing we're doing immediately, we're stopping the Syrians from coming into this country. We're stopping them. 100%. We're stopping. And I have as big a heart as anybody in this room. And we'll help them build some safe zones in Syria, and we'll help them live. and we'll get the Gulf states who have so much money they don't know what to do with it, and they're not spending the money. We are, and we have $19 trillion in debt going very soon to $21 trillion because we made a bad budget deal. Now we're going to have $21 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're going to get the Gulf states. We'll manage it. We'll make it great. And we've got to help the people out. But we can't have people in our country that we have no idea who the hell they are, and we can't have it. It's not going to happen. We're sending them back. So just in closing, I want to tell you, we're going to terminate, as you know, Obamacare. We're going to come up with something so much better. We're going to end Common Core, and we're going to have our education be low. I don't know if you saw, there was a big statistic came out that basically American people have no money. If you have a problem, unbelievable, much less than $1,000, and if you have a problem, there's no way you can handle the problem. And we're going to change that, folks. We're going to change that. We're going to make our country successful again. We're going to make our country great again. We're going to bring back jobs. We're going to do a number that's going to be something really beautiful. Now, so here's the story. So important. You know, we have an election coming up in a couple of weeks, and we've already broken the record. So I hope you get out and vote. You vote for me. The competition. I mean, other names are mentioned. In all fairness, last night, the state of Washington, many other names were mentioned along with mine, and we got a tremendous percentage. I don't know, almost 80%. That's really good. And hundreds of thousands of votes. And that brought us, I think we were over the top actually before that, to be totally straight. But I would like to, you know, it's so important what we're all doing together. And we're doing it together. I'm only the messenger, folks. I'm doing a good job as messenger, you have to say. But I'm only the messenger. Because we have to take our country back. We have to bring intelligence to our country. We have to bring common sense to our country. And the problem with our country is we don't win anymore. We don't win with the military. We don't beat ISIS, right? We don't beat ISIS. Can you imagine General George Patton, who, by the way, in this current environment could never be a general. He couldn't be a corporal because he's too tough. You know, he'd be known to slap soldiers every once in a while. They loved him. General Douglas MacArthur, an incredible general. Can you imagine these guys up there or wherever they may be, looking down, seeing that the United States of America cannot defeat ISIS? Cannot defeat ISIS. So we got to get that rid of. We got to get that taken care of. So here's the story, folks. We don't win anymore, but we're going to start, right? We're going to start. We're going to win with our military. We're going to win on the borders. We're going to win with health care, repeal and replace that garbage known as Obamacare. We're going to win with education. Get rid of that horrible Common Core. We are going to win big league and save our Second Amendment. And as you know, and as you've heard, the NRA endorsed me 3 days ago. And I believe it was the earliest endorsement they've ever made, even before the convention. They endorsed me before I even got the real nomination. That's pretty good. They're great people. Honestly, the people at the NRA, my son's a member, my both sons, and I'm a member of the NRA. They're great Americans. They want what's right for the country. These are great people. These are people that want what's right for this country. Just remember that. So the NRA endorsed us. But we're going to start winning, and we're going to win so much. And I won't go through. Should I go through the whole deal? Should I? We're going to win, win, win? Yes? Yes? We're going to win so much. You're going to be so disgusted with me. Los Angeles and California and Anaheim. You're going to say, we can't take it. We're going to win. We're going to win with our military. We're going to win on the borders. We're going to win with trade. We're going to win with health care. We're going to win on the Second Amendment. We're going to win with education. We're going to win, win, win. you're going to say to me, Mr. President, we can't stand it anymore. We're winning too much. We can't take it. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry. We're going to keep winning because we are going to make America great again. I love you. Thank you, Anaheim. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.